This is a behind the scenes of a commercial property purchase which just settled today. But first, a bit of premise on who the client is. So the client is self-employed. He's a dentist in South Sydney where I live, and he has 4 investment properties and they're all negatively geared, which basically means the rental yield, which is around 3 to 4%, doesn't cover the home loan repayments, which is currently at 5.5 to 5.9%. He currently has 1 commercial property under SMSF, and that's basically his main practice. So he has a SMSF that owns this property, and then the rent gets paid to him in terms of SMS contribution, but more on that on a later stage. And he currently has a prime place of residence where he lives. The market value of this property is about 3.8 million, and he has 50% loan against this property. So this client is a non-TikTok client. Obviously a dentist, very busy, has no time to be on TikTok. He's married and has 3 kids under 14. Now let's look at the commercial contract for sale. The property is in Gregory Hills, New South Wales, and he bought the property for $1.54 million, and he exchanged on his property on the 10th of February 2023. So go back to my notes. The property that he purchased is a ground store, and it's currently operated as a cafe. The tenant is paying him 7% yield, and I'll show you the tenancy agreement with the lease. So this is a commercial lease, and if I scroll down, the lease term is for 5 years and it terminates on 20th February 2026, but then it has an option to renew for 2 periods of 5 years. And it's important when you're getting commercial property, you want a lease that is pretty long and it has an option to renew. Because I don't know whether you've seen, there's a lot of commercial properties out there, and it goes, for lease. And once these properties are vacant, it's vacant for like yonks. So never buy those type of properties. But if I scroll down here to show you the rental per year that this client will get, they're currently renting to an Italian restaurant, which my client will take over the building, and the rent is about 110 per year plus GST. And most importantly, guys, when you're buying a commercial property, make sure the tenant pays all of the outgoings. For example, this clause here, the tenant has to pay for all equipment and maintenance, and also stuff that's related to the landlord's property. So the best thing about buying commercial property is there's no outgoings. It's all paid by the tenant. So right now, let's go to the loan I got him and the costs and the fees and the rate. So with commercial, the maximum is 75% against this property, which equals to $1,155,000. And for this client, he doesn't want to provide tax returns because he hasn't done it yet. So he wants to do low doc, which the rate I got for him is 8.25% per annum variable, and the repayment is $7,940.63 per month. And all the accountant needs to do for this dentist is basically say, hi, I'm the accountant for this client, and I propose that the borrower can pay back the loan. Now, in terms of my dentist client's point of view, if he does full doc, he needs to pay 7.79% interest rate, but he has to provide tax returns and probably pay his tax now. But if he does low doc, it's only 8.25%. But if he does low doc, he only needs to provide an accountant letter to get the loan, and he has more time to do his tax returns later, which means he can purchase faster. Now, either way you go with this, for commercial, there's always a risk fee. For low doc, it's 1.25% of the loan amount, which works out to be $14,437.50. Now, this amount could be taken from the 75% loan, or he could pay it upfront. He doesn't care because that's tax deductible. So right now, let's show you the overall cost of buying this commercial property. So the property is about 1.54 mil. He's borrowing 75%. And at 8.25, it's about $7,940 per month, interest only. And the stamp duty on this is $65,000 once-off fee. And also, the valuation is different to residential properties. For commercial properties, you got to pay it upfront to the valuer. And this one costs about $2,500 once off. And then again, there was the risk free, which is 1.25%. Let's round off to $15,000, and that's once off. And then for commercial properties, you actually have to pay for the bank solicitor cost, which costs about $2,000 on top of his $2,000 solicitor fees. Also, don't forget, he put down 25% deposit to make 75% borrowing. So the outgoing that he paid was $385,000. And as for these funds, I actually did this for him last year when he had his full doc tax returns. So I pulled equity out of his PPOR, and I actually got him out $500K. And we split this for investment purposes. So this, which is partly this, and then the fee that is paying for the stamp duty and the valuation, all this shit, that's all tax deductible. Sorry, that's like Asian snake kung fu for beating the tax office. So right now, my dentist client is very happy. He now has 2 commercial properties, one in SMSF and one outside of SMSF. And the most important thing is, next time he wants Italian food, he's going to Gregory Hills, walking like a boss. I'm gonna eat for free. Why? Because I own this joint, yo. Jump in the comments, let me know if you have any questions about a commercial property purchase. Love to answer them. That's only 0.46% difference.